George Peppard, we at the studio have had a little clip of your new series, Banacek. And I've just been watching the people around the studio and they look at that clip. And Banacek is something they're terribly excited about, so I think that's a good omen.
Well, good. I think it is too.
The series, maybe you ought to explain first of all the storyline, the premise of the series, Banacek.
Well, Banacek's an insurance investigator who collects 10% of whatever is lost or stolen. And the first thing we had almost $1 million in gold, so we made a lot of money. And it's going to show something being lost or stolen on camera. In the first show, in a football stadium, and 50, 60,000 people, with 6 television cameras on it, a man is running around and 4 guys tackle him, and they get off and he's gone, leaving nothing but a football and a helmet.
And you go from there.
And we go on from there. For 90 minutes, we find out how that was done.
I really think it's a groovy idea for a series. Of course, it was a world premiere movie.
Yes, called Banacek, yes.
Yes, and that was the one with the
with the gold bullion, yes.
Yes, the armored car.
Yes, the armored car.
The armored car, yeah, that was a good caper. I liked that a lot.
Okay.
But now you had another world premiere movie.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of that one again?
The Bravos.
All right. Now, was that also a pilot, wasn't it?
It was, but I knew it would never sell.
Why?
Well, the leading character was Major David Harkness, and he was a very tough man with a terrible temper. And I knew that nobody would really want to invite that temper into the living room once a week.
They might already have that temper in their living room anyway.
We have plenty of that, right?
Who needs that? But now, did you think Banacek had a good chance, or did you just make it and hope for the best?
Well, I find that I am not able to tune in to a lot of the questions that I'm asked. For instance, they ask, well, what happens if it's not successful? You know, or what happens if it is? I don't know. My job is to make the most entertaining and the best program I can. And from there on, I let other people tell me if they like it or don't, or if it'll go or it won't. I do feel that the rating system is a strange thing. You know, you have a program that's only getting 25 million people. Well, that's an awful lot of people. And if indeed Banacek does not stay on the air, I won't feel badly, because I know we'll do the best we can.
Now, Banacek is a Polish name. Is there any special reason why this character is of Polish descent?
Well, there's a special reason to me. Being, you know, the Poles are a true minority in our country. And therefore, he represents all minorities. He's an individual. He works alone. He's independent. He has a sense of humor. He's intelligent. The character is. And I think it's good to have a minority represented that way.
I think, too, it's kind of makes up for a little bit for all those Polish jokes that, that they had to suffer with for years and years.
It's part of our American heritage to make fun. You know, back in the vaudeville days, you had the German routine, the Scotsman's routine, the Jewish routine, the Irishman's routine. And at that time in America, they were all minorities, and small minorities. Some of the Polish jokes I've heard, you couldn't turn into Irish or Jewish jokes because there are just too many Jews or too many Irishmen around to jump up and punch you right in the nose.
What is your own ancestry?
Well, I have an uncle that claims that if you go back something like 10 or 11 generations, you've got 1 million ancestors, so you can take your pick. The name Peppard, my father came from Canada. Well, that's another thing. Banacek is the son of an immigrant, and so am I. And Peppard was back through Ireland and England, and you really want to go back, way back, into Normandy. And my mother's family, if you go way, way back, from Switzerland. But by the time you add all the marriages, I mean, take your pick.
You're excited about this series, aren't you, George? Or do you not get excited about things?
I'm not that kind of excitable, really, no. I work for the people who are watching this. That's my job. Whether it fails or doesn't, I'm earning my living, hopefully doing a good job of entertaining people.
Is Banacek married or single?
He's a bachelor, and so am I.
So there'll be some romance in the series, I would think. I would hope.
Yes, there won't be any lady who's with us all the time, but in each episode there will be one or two ladies that he meets.
Will you be using guest stars, or do you know?
No, for some mystical reason, NBC has decided that I'm going to be the star of this program, period.
You know, I think one of the things, George, every time that we meet, that we talk about is the fact that we both have our alma mater in common, except that you didn't graduate from Purdue. You left and graduated.
All right, let's hear a few bars from the Purdue fight song.
No, I don't think they're ready for that. Anyway, I'm a Texan now. I have to sing the Eyes of Texas.
All right. Yes, indeed. I went to Purdue for a year and a half and thoroughly enjoyed it, except that I wasn't a very good civil engineer for some unknown reason.
Did you have to go out with the surveying and all that, the 7%?
Oh, I was out there. I surveyed West Lafayette, Indiana, right down to, I think I had about 400 feet below sea level by the time I got finished.
George, I can see why you didn't follow a career in civil engineering.
Well, they knew what it was. I didn't know they knew. See, I thought I could, pull one over the wool over their eyes, but that wasn't the way to do it.
I'm sure I speak for thousands and hundreds of thousands of people when I say that I'm awfully glad you didn't become a civil engineer, because then I wouldn't have ever had a chance to know you on the screen or in person.
That's very nice. Thank you.
George, thanks for talking with us, and the very best of luck to you with Banacek. I think it's going to be a great series.
Well, the best of luck to you, my dear. It's a pleasure being on your program.
Bye-bye.